Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip and I welcome you back to my channel. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. I appreciate that. I have a lot going on in my head that I thought that I would just share with you guys. I want to be completely candid as well. So I get a lot of stuff in my email, and I appreciate that. And there are times when I'm fascinated by it, and then there are times that it's interesting, but I'm not necessarily interested in that. So, anyway, Scientology is not my only. I can't even say that it's a passion. I'm not passionate about Scientology. I'm passionate about missing kids. I'm passionate about children trafficking. I'm passionate about what's unjust. Unfortunately, Scientology is a lot of that. But as far as Scientology, I think it's just fascinating that a science fiction writer could come up with this whole structure of living, including a whole language and a bunch of acronyms, and this dictates people's lives. That to me is fascinating. It's fascinating when I hear a story of like a woman, that Bianca story from Kelly Copter's channel, which has stuck with me now for a while. I think it resonated some things with me and my own relationship with my mom when I was growing up. I'm not a Scientologist and I'm not OSA, and it's just I don't know how I feel when people keep putting that in there. It's like it's a blanket statement that I just don't know what to do with because it doesn't apply. I'm a person that knows as much about Scientology as I've told you. And my video went viral because I accidentally took somebody's thumbnail. Okay? I like what I do on YouTube, but I don't necessarily always like about talking about Scientology. However, here's the thing about that. When I talk about things like Bianca and her upbringing and the unjust and the heartbreak of it and the emotional struggle that people continue going through in life because of the past that their parents put them through, and that some guy decided that you're not a baby who's supposed to encounter things for the first time. No, you're an old person who has encountered these things over and over again, and you're supposed to be prepared to do it. So I just don't understand how people could believe that. And I know that they can't all believe that at one time. Like if they went to the Scientology sessions to begin with, if Dianetics said that at the beginning, it wouldn't have been a great selling book. It was a self-help book that told you, that kind of showed you how to let go of things in your past. Yes, it's just like a speech. If you keep telling a speech over and over and over and over again, and it's a speech that might have to do with the loss of somebody, but if you keep repeating that speech over and over and over again, by the time you say it, you're not going to be near as emotional as you were the first time when you tried to say it, right? So, I mean, a lot of this stuff was just practical. And the guy, I don't even know if he was a good writer. I've never read any of his things. And that's a matter of opinion, too, if somebody's a good writer or not. I don't think he had best-selling books with the exception of the Dianetics. I don't think any of his science fiction was best-selling. He just wrote the most of it. And then came up with this idea, let me start a religion with it so that I can get tax exemption. In the meantime, look at the destruction that this has done to people and the families and people like Bianca, who is still struggling today because some guy figured out that, yeah, if you keep repeating things over and over again, you'll ultimately kind of become, each emotions will come out each time. And as time goes by, like, he's not a genius to that, obviously. As time goes by, things aren't so emotional. When my dad first died, I cried all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I still cry. I don't cry all the time. I'm able to talk about him. I'm able to laugh about him. I'm able to be angry about him, about things in the past. I'm able to, because time has passed. So, you know, but this other shit about, reincarnation, okay, but a baby's a baby's a baby. An 8-year-old child is not supposed to be doing child labor. And when I talk about videos like that, or I make little videos about that, they don't do near as well as the gossip videos about the people in the Scientology ring. Well, here's what I'm really going to tell you about that. So as everybody knows, I guess, on my channel, Chris Shelton had written in my chat that, my comments, that I could have checked with him to see if the story that he was saying was, if the story I was saying on my channel was correct. And I said to Chris, I don't have to check with you. And what I said was, this is what somebody said to me, and if that's true, and then I went with how I feel. Well, somebody sent me the Facebook thing. And it says exactly, if you're going to be on Aaron's channel, on ASL's channel, then I don't consider you a friend of mine, and I'm not going to be your friend on Facebook. And I think that's shitty, because here's the bigger thing. It is not about ego. It is about people in Scientology that are being mistreated, that are having disconnections, and it's not about ego here. And if you want to know what I think about Aaron, I think Aaron puts out some really good information. And that's why we watch him, right? I haven't watched him in a minute. Somebody asked me to check out a video, and I think I did a couple days ago, about him auditing Scientology like William Good is in California, which I think William does a much better job. Aaron gives out information about Scientology. We know an awful lot about Scientology because of Aaron, okay? Some of his stuff, when he picks on people, I don't like that. I don't like that because Aaron has no business picking on people. Aaron's flawed himself. So he shouldn't be saying shit about people breaking the law, because there's a few videos of Aaron out there breaking the fucking law. And that's just the truth. Okay? Or at least being accused of it. So, and what he's doing is the same thing. His thing with Chris Shelton, it's so much easier to get angry at somebody than it is to get angry at yourself. I don't know the real beef between them, and I'm sure if you were to ask them both, you'd get two different sides of the story, right? So, and there's always three sides to the story. So, the Scientology auditing thing on the streets, I just watched one again where they were literally lying to somebody. It seemed about like that it was a party, people were going to go to a party, it was a library, it was a bookstore, it was, and why are they lying to these people? I thought that the building, I saw a shot of the building and it actually said Scientology on it. So, but that's the big thing. What Serge is talking about is the big thing. The stuff that Kelly Copter is doing is the big thing. The things that are showing the darkness, the danger of Scientology, so that hopefully enough people can make so much noise, and I really think it's going to be Scientology audit that is going to take down Scientology, and Leah Remini, who's suing Scientology. So those things, in my opinion, and my opinion isn't always right, but those things, in my opinion, are the things that are there to help Serge, definitely Serge, You know, anybody that enlightens people, Scientology is fascinating because it makes you wonder, how does somebody get into something like that? What makes somebody get into something like that? And then what makes them stay in it? How does it go from, wow, that's a good idea, to, I'm not going to see my kid but a half an hour a week? How do you put on your child that everything, including a cold or, I don't know, falling down and breaking your arm, is your fault because of something you did? How does that child grow up to not blame themselves? The world is hard. The world is hard. So you're going to teach a child from jump that all the bad shit that's happened to her just isn't about life. It's everything that they brought onto themselves. That's what you're going to teach a kid? That's the shit we should be talking about. Not who's talking to this person or who's talking to that person or the gossip part of Scientology. No, I don't. But those are the clicks. That's how I'm getting my numbers. My videos don't go live. I don't get paid for my videos. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know what I'm going to do after April. I don't want to try to find fights among people in Scientology, because I don't want to continue my channel on like that. I want to dive into a bunch of things. And I've said this before, so I know that I've said it before. But, you know, a couple days ago, I was off for the first time 2 days in a row. I was off for the first time 2 days in a row in over 5-6 weeks. So I was able to do a few things and organize things with some of it. But then I started watching, you know, some of the stuff that I wanted to watch on YouTube. And a lot of it wasn't Scientology. And I was like, man, I wish I could talk about that. I don't want to live, breathe, and everything Scientology. Then the channel's not worth it for me. So I'm going to still do the best that I can do, but I'm not going to make my life miserable by becoming something I'm not. I'm not somebody that likes to gossip. I'm just not like that. And I don't want my channel to have that darkness or that crap around it. You know, I don't want that to be something that's expected of me. That's not who I am. So those people that have jumped on me in my comments and in my email about Aaron, let me tell you what I think about Aaron. I think that Aaron has said it himself that he's lazy. All of his videos are live videos, and that's fine. All of his videos are live videos, so it's not like he does a lot of preparation. He's even admitted that there's times he doesn't know what to talk about, but then he'll see a newspaper article and he'll jump on. He jumps on several times a day. Those are big payments for him. That's how he gets paid. That's how he makes his money. He's killing two birds with one stone. So he's putting out a video, he's putting it out live, and then he's also doing things in the chat. So he's getting paid double. I don't really think that there's anything wrong with that, but I think that that's what's going on. Those people that want to watch him with the Scientology audit, or watch him talk about Grant Cardone, or watch him talk about this person or that person, you know, here's the thing. You have to really like somebody's personality, I guess, to like their channel. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many people would follow Aaron if he had another, and I'm sure he has a lot of interests. Come on. It's not just Scientology. But I wonder how well his channel would do if he was a race car enthusiast and his channel, he had a video about race cars. Or if he loved fishing and had a channel about fishing. I just wonder how many people would do that. Or if he I think he likes certain television shows. I guess we all do, right? And if he just talked about that, I wonder how well he would do with that. Because what it is, we all expect Aaron to talk about Scientology. Of course we do, right? I can't be that. You know, and you don't want me to be that. I'm not a Scientology expert. I want to dive into all of the groups and say, whoa. And, you know, I do. If somebody's going to write in my chat, I am going to defend myself. You know, I am going to speak up for myself because this is my channel. I have to do it my way. I'm old now. I got to do it my way. So, you know, right now I'm really fascinated with the Scientology audit and in the streets of LA. Hang on. Anyway, I'm sorry. I've had a few people like question the integrity of some of the people on YouTube, some of the people that are in the Scientology, you know, arena, the SPTV. I've had a few people ask me if I thought that Aaron was buying subscribers. A few people. I've had more than a few people ask me if Reese likes Tommy Scovel. I don't know. But I could say enough people have asked me that maybe she puts some sort of energy out there. I can't understand why Aaron would buy subscribers, because I think that you get, I think that, you know, you don't really get paid by your subscribers per se, from my understanding. I'm ignorant to getting paid on YouTube. I don't get paid. You get paid for your super chats. You get paid for ads, I think. Sponsors. And didn't Aaron say YouTube keeps 30%? And I guess the content creator gets 70%. So, I don't think that the subscriber thing is it. I think it's the amount of views. I don't know. I don't know. But the integrity of these people, I don't think is shown in, and yeah, I mean, obviously it's shown in actions. If there's somebody clearly hitting on somebody and that person's married, then yeah, you can see the integrity there, you know what I mean? If you have to question somebody's integrity, then you need to really step back and ask yourself if it's important to what they're doing or saying. There's so much stuff that I like and I'm interested in that, you know, for me to just watch things about people's integrity, I just don't want to do that, you know. If Chris can't figure out that the bigger thing here, the greater, Chris Shelton, if he can't figure out that the greater good is to get people out of Scientology, and if you don't like somebody, okay, but you don't just unfriend, you do what you want, but that's very cultish. You know what I'm saying? That's very cultish. So, you know, I people will show you who they are. If you wait, they'll show you. I promise. And we can see who Chris Shelton is. If you don't like it, he like wants to take his toys out of the sandbox and go home. And the worst bit, this is the most dangerous part of that, in my opinion, is that he considers himself a critical thinker. But you don't give people the opportunity to be their own critical thinker when you say, if you're on this person's channel, I'm going to unfriend you. The world is not black and white. You've been in it long enough to know it's not black and white. And ego needs to fucking get out of there, because there's a bunch of people struggling inside there, and that's more important. That's more important. And that's what I want to, you know, focus on. So guys, I thought that I would just share with you, rant over. I just wanted to, you know, make it clear that I'm not always going to talk about Scientology. And when I do, I'm not always going to be talking about the gossip stuff, because I don't think it's very healthy. You know, there's a little bit of gossip that's fun, but you know, we got to be careful with that. And that's just the way that I feel about it. There's some deep dives that I want to get into with some people that have left Scientology. I think their stories are fascinating. And then there's some other stuff, like I said. So please engage in the chat. You guys always do, and I love that. I'm in there as well. I thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. And, you know, don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you're going to be tomorrow. All right, guys, I'll see you real soon. Thanks. Take care. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I'm out.
Die with respect, die with a degree of dignity. Lay down your life with dignity. Don't lay down with tears and agony. There's nothing to death. It's like Max said, it's just stepping over into another plane. Don't be this way. Stop this hysterics. This is not the way for people who are socialist, communists to die. No way for us to die. We must die with some dignity. Please, keep your emotions down. Keep your emotions down. Children, it will not hurt if you'll be quiet. If you'll be quiet.
Over 900 people died.
I tell you, I don't care how many screams you hear. I don't care how many anguish cries.
I remember that. Don't you remember that? I remember seeing that. That was horrible, unbelievable. Most oh God, who'd have thought people did that? I can't believe he was supposed to be a priest.
What is Scientology? How would you describe it?
Well, it's very interesting. You've just asked a question like, what are the contents of the Encyclopedia Britannica? Answer in one word.
Well, Mr. Hubbard, it's obviously something that's very wide-ranging. And if you can't describe it overall, perhaps we can begin at the beginning.
I began to ask this question, what is man? And I found, oddly enough, that nobody could tell me what man was. I became very fascinated with this particular line of research, and I made it my life's work. You have to rub elbows with all kinds and types of men before you can finally establish what he is.
And you, in fact, did this?
Yes, I've slept with bandits in Mongolia, and I've hunted with pygmies in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, I have studied 21 different primitive races, including the white race.